the chairman of this occasion, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell a story. So I'm not going to lecture. It's not like he said. It's a story. It's an evening when we should relax and reflect. And what I have is a story to tell you. By the grace of God, I am from the Niger Delta, from Bile Kingdom in Rivers State. But by God's grace, I've gone around to see what's happening elsewhere. So just starting it like a story, I went to Tanzania and crossed over on the Indian Ocean to Zanzibar. You know, the Zanzibar that Michael Jackson sang about. And everybody was excited. But when I went to the Stone City, and they were taking me through it, I said, what is this? This is Abonima. Is it Abonima they are bringing me to? And then they are making all this noise about, you know. Please let me have my small notes. You know, that's Zanzibar. And here in River State, in the Niger Delta, we have several of such Zanzibars. Now, Zanzibar alone contributes so much. Zanzibar alone contributes so much to the economy of Tanzania. The blue economy in Zanzibar contributes 29% of Zanzibar's GDP and employs 1/3 of the population. In 2020, Tanzania contributed 7.2 billion and employed over 2 million people just from the blue economy. And here we are talking about states with the highest unemployment, and then we come second and third. It's a sorry state. Now, I'm going to be telling you a story. Next slide, and very fast too. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yes. The Niger Delta, we normally say, is made up of the South states. Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Rivers, Edo, Delta, and they are finished. There are 6 states. But let's go to the next slide. What do we see? That although the Niger Delta is the goose that lays the golden egg for Nigeria, contributing over 65% of the national income, it lags behind in development. I'm not here to cry because we want to talk about shared responsibility. Lagos alone has a GDP of 101 billion, while the 5 Niger Delta states combined has 75.19 billion, even though they have more potentials than Lagos State. Akwa Ibom, Cross River comes second and third in highest, and Akwa Ibom and Rivers come second and third in highest unemployment rate with 45.2% and 43.7% respectively. Sometimes computer know they service something. When I put and they convert them to C. What you see I put. In spite of this misery, the region is here to cultivate an economic progress plan like Lagos. Now, the story I want to tell you is about Bile Kingdom, and Bile Kingdom mirrors the Niger Delta situation. We can rewrite the story of the Niger Delta just like Bile is doing. Next slide. Now, this Bile I'm talking about is in Rivers State. It's an Ejoklan located just 45 minutes drive from Port Harcourt. It's next to Bonny, 28 kilometers from Abonima. They were not connected by road. Just 28 kilometers from Abonima. And it has about 41,000 people on one island, and we are all choked together. The exploration of oil here started since 1958. It has been there since the 9th century. So when you see on your program, ancient, that is the meaning. It is host to 2 oil fields, Bile 1 and Bile 2, which is Alba oil fields. Just opening that Awoba oil field in May, it made national news. 12,000 barrels per day is being produced in May 2024. I'm not talking about old records. Now you talk about the millions of gas and then the millions of barrels of crude, but on a daily basis, 12,000 barrels of oil is produced here. But in spite of this, there is no significant impact of development in its territory. Next slide. So do we keep on crying? Now, if you look at this, this is an overview of a typical Niger Delta. Over there, you see Bulletin, and then you see the gas pipeline passing, you see oil extraction facilities, and then you see dark because the mangrove forest is gone. The environment is completely messed up. I'm happy. I hope NDDC has not left. Thank you. I'm glad we are here. Completely messed up. You have pipeline, gas, oil passing through, and they cannot recognize that there is a place there. Now, next. So we said enough of crying. We are no longer going to cry. We decided to sit ourselves down. You see, all these are youths, elites of different, who specialize in different areas. And we sat down and asked ourselves, what kind of Village Kingdom do we want to attain? Where are we now? Where do we want to be? How do we get there? How do we get the resources to do what we want to be? And after that, next slide, we decided to hold a summit in 2019. The government was invited, the governor was invited. He went for a burial that day, so he could not come for a development program. He went for burial. That is sent representation. But we were talking to ourselves. We were not looking at government. And then we looked at 8 thematic areas: infrastructure development and maintenance, economic development, health development, youth and sociocultural development, environmental sustainability activities, political evolution, information and communication development, and legal capacity development. Next. So in 2020, after that, we started implementation. Now, I'll tell you, I've been to India. If you go to India, many of you may have gone, but probably you went to Mumbai, and then you decided to see all the fancies. I went to Kolkata. That is where, what's this woman? The woman that championed poverty.
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa stayed. I went there. And what I see is that carpenters were building flyovers. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Put boards on 2 sides. Put the right rods in the ground. Concrete them. Put another set of boards. You will pour concrete over. It becomes flyover. The road was not smooth, but they had roads. And that, I looked for Coke. Coke was highly priced so that you can buy Pepsi. They are conscious about building their economy. You don't see all the fancy cars, but go and check the reserve of India. Just use your Google, check India reserve, and then compare with the one you are crying about. How much do we have? 30-something. Check India now. You will see that their gates are not open. Now, so we decided to start. I am a development finance specialist. That's what I have done all along for over 30 years. So we started. And then we incorporated a foundation because whatever we are doing, we want to be do it by the law. If you enter our website, villagedevelopment.com, you will see all. You will also see this blueprint there if you want to download it, because we want to share our experience to as many communities as possible. So shared responsibility, if everybody does a little of what they are doing, there will be transformation. Next, I want to move faster now. So we started a ring road project. If you see the original Bile, we are all packed together. You come to Bile, there is nowhere you can pass. In fact, a place like this is a road. So anywhere you see a space is a road. That's how we are moving. But we are writing our story. And you can see, no fanfare, no chief, nothing. The oldest man in that community where we started was the one that laid the foundation stone. But go today, you will see the difference that we are making to ourselves. Next, and that was 2020, we made sure we met with the community, the chiefs, and of course, as Niger Delta people, anything we would do, if you not put small kakai for ground, how will the ancestors agree? So we told the ancestors, we are ancient people, that modern things are going to come here. All of them agree, and they said, we endorse. Go ahead. Next slide. And the youths came out. Next slide. We started opening up roads. Next. Next. You can see the ring road now. Next. Next. And we did that. As we were doing it, I'm happy and feel exalted to be on the same platform with Sir Engineer Adoke Tumami. He happens to be from Bile. But, you know, in a Joland, the way we behave, if it is for burial like in my place, they will say men 2,000, women 1,000. He will pay 2,000, no matter how much money he has. The other person will pay 2,000. So when it is time to speak, everybody has equal right to speak. That is the way it is done. So even though he is there, we were not looking up to him. We didn't bother that he was there. We were doing our thing until I got to where his house is located. And I was lobbying his wife. Say, we have done the retaining walls for the ring road. It's near you now. So what can you do for us? And he told her, Agami, you are capable now. You can do something now. And she said, yes, I'm capable. And that was how she adopted this road you are seeing. Today we call it the Agami Link Road. And it will surprise you that in December 2022, a former president came to Bile and cut the tape that government did not put shishi. He came and cut the tape. Next, I feel like saying praise the Lord. Now, we have gone ahead and then we told them, look, this ancient city, vehicles will move here, tricycles will move here. They said, when is it going to happen? On 31st August 2022, the tricycle landed and the children were escorting it like a king has arrived. Say, what is this? If I show you the picture, how we even transported it there, it's another story. We put it inside speedboat. Speedboat. And flew it down there. And the children were so excited. Next. Today, tricycle is now a means of transportation on that island. Next. Next. And then we went on to begin to open major roads, put street lights. But this one is about 1 kilometer and we expect it to go to a point that you can easily see the Atlantic Ocean. So this one, heavy small. So we are unable to fix this yet. Next slide. Next slide. But while we are doing this, there was nowhere we can call a bus stop. If you reach village, you still don't have a landing place. And this was the area we marked out, say it's going to be the major bus stop. Today it is the landing jetty. People who came for the chairman's mother's burial probably landed there. It wasn't there before. And it wasn't we use local technology to create what you are going to see next. So next, this is what it was. You see us inside the mall. We opened the mall. And then we did, I said in India, the technology is simple. Just adopt it. Forget about all this Julius Berger and all those stuff. We use local technology before, and we still do. Sometimes you ask me, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, don't worry, what am I doing? I use sandbags to stop the river and then do sand filling. Sandbags. Sand filling gradually, before we did the retaining wall. Next. This was how it was before. Are you seeing? Next. It has transformed. This is the same place. Next. This is the same place and a road has appeared. Next. The same place. Next. Here it is. I mean, how do we do this? We agreed amongst ourselves that on any day we are going to do sand filling, all the local sand dredgers, you don't supply sand anywhere else. I'm in the village and I say this week, no supply to anywhere else. Everybody bring your sand here. And so, like task force, they supplied. And we're able to convert that place to what you see. So by December 2022, when people came for the burial of our chairman's mother, they were thinking that maybe NDDC has come to do something. No NDDC. I broke down. I broke down from doing this. Next slide. Now we have gone ahead. Now we are talking about Ring Road Phase 2. Next. This is where it's going to pass. As we are doing it, it is also doing shore protection, controlling flooding. Next. So, somebody will ask, is it only just small roads that you have done? Like somebody said, maybe footpath one of the constructs. Footpath no day before. But now we are constructing footpaths. But I can tell you that in the other thematic areas too, while infrastructure is easily seen, developments in other thematic areas are also going on. The Village District Football Association has produced national and international footballers. Every year, there is a league going on. And in December, it is crowned. Coca-Cola has not been there to promote anything. Nobody has been there to promote anything. But I'm telling you from this league, Precious Tony Williams, 2023, the captain that lifted Nigeria's cup, Golden Eaglets, is from this league, from Village. And that league goes on. NDDC is here. I'm challenging you. Come, you will see. It's going on. And every day, they are training. They are training. They are training. And their mind is, they want to japa. But where are they training? In Billy. It's part of the development agenda we have put in place. Education is promoted through scholarships. A local news magazine is published quarterly. It's called the Flagship Journal. I've given it to Ivy. And it tracks. It's part of the information and communication development we want to bring to ourselves. Village now has its legal luminaries organized into an association. And of course, you know, recently we won a landmark case which opened up our Flow Station. The lawyers were familiar. We may pick one or two from others, but those who were with the weak were not hired people. They were locally produced. Then, for the first time, Billy produced a governorship candidate in the last election. Remember, political evolution is one of the thematic areas. Billy produced a governorship candidate for the first time in Rivers State. And then we do annual monitoring and tracking of developments and periodic review conferences on this development. I'm ending now with general statements. Next slide. So we come to government response. Even though government was invited at the launch, it is yet to assist in the implementation. Local government attention has been drawn to the developments. It has not shown any commitment. It is the resolve of the people no longer to wallow in self-pity, but take its destiny in its hands. With the advent of the PIA, we expect that the funds will serve to drive the development agenda. That doesn't mean we can do everything. That is why I'm appealing to the voice, the people that are here. If you can, you have an NGO. Here is a reasonable cause with focus and direction that you can support. Next. So it's time for action in the Niger Delta. The time for self-pity should be over. It's long. We have done militancy, we've fought, we've done a lot of things. It's time for action. Elders and leaders should rise above national and selfish political distractions. Our state should no longer be used to sponsor national politics. We should be used to sponsor ourselves. We should share responsibility, take responsibility, and build the Niger Delta to an enviable status. There are good examples all over the world to copy and take advantage of both. We are blessed. We have the oil economy and we have the blue economy. If I start talking 2 hours, I was speaking already on the blue economy. It's bigger even than the oil economy. What is Singapore doing? Blue economy. And I've just talked about Zanzibar, Tanzania. Now, so there should be palpable regional economic cooperation and peer review mechanism. Where is the cooperation between rivers and Akwa Ibom? Between rivers and Bayelsa? Between Bayelsa and Delta? We are not thinking about regional road. When do you think a road will come from Lagos to come and crisscross your place and go to Calabar? Leave that matter. My eyes are open. You can't hoodwink me. I was called to the State House before Air Nigeria was born. Check my profile. And I told them, look, you say you are the investors. I put the cards down. They say, yes, they are seeing it. But they wouldn't hear. The advice was given. Not be today, that road to go cross. And I better do something if you are from Niger Delta. Begin to think of regional cooperation, regional development, take responsibility. I think with these few words of mine, I have been able to convince you that development of the Niger Delta is a shared responsibility, and the village people are already doing it. Thank you very much.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen.